Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we are the group 8. Title of this topic is all about the art of emerging Europe. And first, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Armia Abdullah Zailan, together with my co-reporter, which is Hussein Kuday, Siti Hanaifa Kalu, and Rahima Ibrahim, Amiruddin Ezla, and Fahad Sema. So first is art. Art is an integral part in European history, has been used to communicate ideologies and belief systems prevalent within their context. Greek and Roman civilization, also known as the classical world, both culture and to embody the highest possible standard of quality in all aspects of their society. So, sa art ay mahalagang bahagi ng kasaysayan ito ng Europe mula sa panahon ng mga sinaunang kabihasnan tulad ng mga Greek at Romano hanggang sa kasalukuyang panahon. Tinawag din na classical world ang mga kabihasnang ito dahil pareho silang nagpapakita o naglalayong magpakita ng pinakamataas na antas ng kalidad sa lahat ng aspeto ng kanilang mga lipunan. So, ang impluensya at epekto ng mga kabihasnang ito ay malawak. At maraming art movement ang kumuha ng inspirasyon sa kanilang mga artistic na elements. Sa bawat panahon sa kasaysayang lumitaw ang iba't ibang art movement sa Europa, bawat isa ay mayroong kani-kanyang mga katangian na nagpapakita ng mga trend at pagbabago habang naglilipat mula sa isang panahon papunta sa isa pang panahon. So, ang mga art movement na ito ay nagsisilbing mga reflection ng politika, social at kultura ng mga aspeto sa panahon ng kanilang kinabibilangan. So next is Greek and Romance. So art and architecture intended to promote the possibility of having an objective and widely accepted standard for beauty. So yun nga, ang Greek ang mga Romance, nagbibigay din sila ng mga inspirations or kagandahan ng kanilang mga gawa. Ancient Greece. So Greek is known to excel in various field and aspect of society. They value poetry, drama, and philosophy. Man as the center of the society, and they train their minds could be the very foundation of who they live their lives. So, ang sabi dito sa Greeks naman is were known to excel in a various field and aspect of society. So, mahusay sila sa politika, poetry, drama, and philosophy na hanggang ngayon ay mga kahanga-hangang larangan ng mga pag-aaral dito. So, and for those who want to be involved in the art such as painting, sculpture, and architecture, you need to certain skills and knowledge. So, bago ka dapat maka-experience ng ganon. So, kailangan is magaling ka sa skills ng arts at may knowledge ka rin dapat. So, next one is the humanities idea of the Greeks were reflected in their democratic form of governments. This certain level of freedom is also reflected in their artworks, architecture, literature, and philosophy. And principles, belief system, and ideologies are at the core of the Greek art and architecture. So, the humanities ideas ng mga Greeks were reflected sa kanilang democratic form of governments. May certain level of freedom rin na reflect sa kanilang artwork, architecture, at literature, at philosophy. Kaya sa core ng Greek art and architecture, makikita mo ang mga principles, belief system, at ideologies na bumuo sa kanilang kultura at art. Understanding these things will help us better appreciate the importance of the Greek in the history of culture and art. So, as you can see sa screen natin, we have the four or development of the Greek art. So, which is can be divided into four periods, which is the geometric, archaea, classical, and Hellenistic. So, as you can see, this is a geometric, and this is the example of geometric. So, the time when Greece was starting to get back from the onslaught of what seemed to be their dark ages, period when geometric shape and patterns have taken the spotlight and mass of their artworks. So, sa panahon ng pagbangon ng Greece mula sa kanilang Dark Ages, naging sikat ang paggamit ng mga geometric shape at patterns. Sa kanilang art, ito ay nangyari mula sa 900 BCE hanggang 700 BCE. Sa panahon ng ito, nakatuon ang mga Greek artists sa paggamit ng simpleng mga hugis at patterns tulad ng linya, bilog at iba pa. Makikita ito sa kanilang mga pottery, metalwork at textile. Sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng mga geometric shape, ipinapakita ng mga Greek ang kagandahan ng kanilang kalikasan at femininity. Ipinapakita rin ng arts na ito ang kanilang kasanayan sa technical na aspeto ng paglikha ng mga arts na may malalim na kahulugan. So this is the next is the archaea. This is archaea, the example of archaea on the screen. Archaea is primarily a result of Greece trending activities with other civilization, period that plays important on human figures. So, sabi sa mga archaea naman is sa kalathalang history na ito, maaring tinutukoy ang panahon ng Archaea Greece kung saan ang mga Griego ay nangangalakal sa iba't ibang kabihasnan sa kanilang paligid, which is ang panahong ito ay nakatuon sa pagpapahalaga sa mga valuing human figures and also including their bodies and forms. And also, the ways of economics activities, they become more commercialized at nagdulot din ito ng pagbabago sa kanilang culture at society. So next is the classical period. As you can see on the screen, this is the example of the classical period. So the classical period, peak of Greek sculpture and architecture, Greek found themselves rebuilding their temples and focusing on creating artworks. So, the classical period is in the Greece was a time of peak achievements in its sculpture and architecture, and that's time nakatuon ang mga Greek sa muling pagtatayo ng kanilang mga templo at paglikha ng mga likhang art. And also, pinapakita talaga nila yung galing at maganda nilang mga gawa sa pag-design ng architecture. And also, their art show their appreciation for nature, religion, and the values of the society. So, the last one is Hellenistic period. And this is the example of Hellenistic periods on the screen. Hellenistic period art as a primary focus on a showcasing emotions and depicting reality. This is the time of Alexander the Great. Hellenistic sculptures started to emphasize balance while showcasing dynamic poses and number of emotion evoked by the subject. A Hellenistic periods, ang art na ito, as you can see sa screen, nagpapakita ng mga emosyon at paglalarawan ng katotohanan. So, ito ay nangyari noong panahon ni Alexander the Great sa larangan ng sculpture. Nakapokus ang mga Hellenistic artists sa pagpapakita ng balance. For example na lang, nito ay ang Lakon at ang kanyang mga anak na nagpapakita ng emosyonal paintings. So, yun yung example ng Hellenistic period is with emotion. With the emotion ang nagpapakita ng kanilang mga artworks. So, next is the Lacon and Trojan Price and his son. So, sa kwento na ito, si Lacon at ang kanyang mga anak ay may kaugnayan sa mitolohiya ng Greek. Si Lacon ay isang pare sa lungsod ng Troja at isa sa mga tagapagtanggol ng lungsod laban sa mga Greek na nais sakupin ang kanilang teritoryo.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening po ma'am and classmates. I am Hussein Kude from Group 8. My topic today is Ancient Rome. Rome Republic. Rome Republic established around 509 BC. Roman civilization come of age during Hellenistic period. The Hellenistic period. The fusion of Greek and Roman cultures can be seen in most Roman artworks. Romans were fond of the Greeks, their achievement in art. Okay, ang Republikang Romano ay ang kapanahonan ng sinaunang kabihasnang Romano na may republikang uri ng pamahalaan. Nagsimula ang republika pagkatapos ibagsak ang monarkiyang Romano noon 509 BC. Tumagal ito ng 450 taon bago humina dahil sa digmaang sibil. Tanging imperyo. Sa dalawang siglo nito, ang republika ay lumaki mula sa gitnang Italy hanggang sa buong Mediterranean mundo. Okay, ang Roman civilization, ang sinaunang Roman ay isang sinaunang kabihasnan sa Europa na umiral sa Italianong Peninsula. Ang maliit na agricultural sa lungsod ay lumaki at naging isa sa mga pinakamalawak na imperyo ng sinaunang panahon sa dagat Mediterranean. Okay, the fusion of Greek and Roman cultures can be seen in most Roman artworks. Ang pagsasanib na ito ay naganap mula ika-2 siglo BC nang sakupin ng mga Romano ang Greece. Simula na i-assimilate ang kultura nito, ang edukasyon kasta ng mga Romano ay natuto ng Griego at nagsimulang makipag-ugnayan sa bagong nasakop na kultura. Okay. Roman art. Roman product artwork that are often looking stern, harsh and strong. They are so invoking the principle of realism in most of their highlighting the features of human beings. Romans were also known to be master builders. Colosseum. One of the Romans' architectural achievement. Amphitheater that was planned and constructed during the reign of Imperial Vespasian. Okay. Ang amphitheater na binalik at itinayo noon panahon ng paghahari ng mga emperador. Vespasian. Ang Koliseo ay nakatayo sa silangan laman ng Roman Forum. Ang construction ay sinimulan noong 72 AD at natapos noong 80 AD sa ilalim ng kanyang kapalit at tagapagmanang si Tito. Ang pagbabago ay ginawa sa panahon ng kaharian ni Domitiano noon 81 to 96. Ang tatlong emperador ay kinilala bilang Dynastia Flavia. Okay. Main use was for entertainment purposes like public event and gladiator games. Ang mga pangunahing gamit ay para sa mga layuning pang-aliw tulad ng pampublikong kaganapan at mga laro ng gladiator. This structure was a concrete manifestation of Roman virtuous craftsmanship which focused on logical organization other entire edifice. Ang struktura ito ay isang konkretong pagpapakita ng craftsmanship ng Roman builder na nakatuon sa logical na organisasyon ng iba pang buong edifisyo. Ang strukturang ito ay nagagamit din sa paglalaro or para sa mga organisasyon. Tulad ng nasa picture. Pwede din siyang pasyalan or gawing background para sa pagpipili. Okay. Verses and the head of Mendoza. Just like Greeks, Roman values their gods, and these are evidence in their sculptures and artwork. Okay, ang mga Romano ay tulad ng mga Greek. Pinahalagahan ng Roman ang kanilang mga Diyos at ito ay makikita sa kanilang mga skulptura at likhang art. Ang ibig sabihin ay ang kanilang mga Diyos o mga bayani ay ginagawa nila ng statwa or printing para ito ay may pakilala sa susunod na henerasyon. An artwork that show Perseus, the son of Poseidon, holding the head of Mendoza. Tulad lang ng nasa picture, isang likhang art na nagpapakita kay Perseus, ang anak ni Poseidon, na may hawak na ulo ni Mendoza. Sino nga ba si Perseus? Si Perseus ay isang pangunahing bayani mula sa mga mitolohiyang Grego na kilala para sa kanilang matalino na pagputol sa ulo ni Mendoza. Ang kanyang ina ay si Dania, ang kanyang ama ay si Acrisius Argos. Sino naman si Mendoza? Si Mendoza ang babae na may mga ahas na buhok, marahil isa sa pinakakilalang nilalang sa mitolohiyang Griego. Si Mendoza ay dating isa ding tao pero siya ay ipinagkalulo or isinumpa na nagiging ahas ang kanyang mga buhok, at sino ang kanyang matitigan ay magiging bato.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I'm Siti Hanaifa Fayruds Aragasi Kala from Bahis Swansea, and my topic for today is all about Middle Age period between the decline of the Roman Empire and the Renaissance. Period characterized by ignorance and darkness. Koch was the central figure and authority of the period. Most important products of Middle Age old have combined of the Christian scripture. So, ang Middle Age is medieval period na tumatagal siya hanggang 5 to 15 centuries. Katulad siya ng post-classical period of global history. So, nag-start ang Middle Age sa pagbagsak ng Western Roman Empire. At lumipat ito sa Renaissance at Age of Decollete. So during this time, great cathedral were also built. This cathedral can be categorized into period. So merong mga example ang Middle Age. Tulad ng, so ang mga example nito is Romansky 1050 to 1200, inspired by the old Roman Empire. Gothic 1200 to 1500, hard northern flavor from the Goth, Vulgar, and Barbarian.
Renaissance period. Art is valued individual as a subject of arts. The influence of humanism shifted the focus of some artworks during the Renaissance period to empower the individual. Most artworks emphasize naturalism. Ang Renaissance period are vivid during the 14th to 17th century in Europe, na kung saan ang artist ay valued as an individual bilang subject o taong gumagawa ng art. The influence of humanism. Renaissance ay nalipat ang focus nila ng artwork during Renaissance period para palakasin ang katagang individual. Renaissance period. Three-dimensional perspective. Artists added perspective of depth wherein space were explored. Renaissance artists also give importance to non-religious themes or subjects. Ang human Renaissance ay educational and intellectual program na kung saan ang focus nila ay hindi sa religion kundi sa sa tao. David, artwork of Michelangelo. This sculpture is an example of humanism as a dominant belief system during the Renaissance. There is emphasis on the details of the body of the human being. Si David statwa ay marble sculpture na ginagawa ni Michelangelo, na kung saan ang estatwa ay ginagawa para sa mga buttress ng Cathedral ng Florence. Ang estatwa ito ay mula sa block ng marble na hinaharangan ng mga sculpture at iniwan ito lamang ito sa labas.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Amiruddin Ezla, Bahis Swansea. And let's talk about the Baroque and Rococo arts. Before I start,
Sana po may matutunan po kayo sa aking itatakil. Okay, let's talk about Baroque. Ano nga ba ang Baroque? Alamin natin dito sa topic natin. Baroque derived from Portuguese term barroco, which is translated as irregularly shaped pier. Ang salitang baroko raw ay nagmula sa salitang Portuguese na baroko, double C, baroko, na isinalin bilang irregular shape pier. Rome, birthplace of Baroque period. Response to Protestantism. A lot of artists have developed styles and technique different from the Renaissance predecessors. According sa aklat na ito, marami raw ang nakabuo na o nakakreate ng art na Baroque at pamamaraan na iba sa kanila ay naunang Renaissance. Marami raw ang nakakreate ng mga art na ito na Baroque. Nandyan na sila Annibale Carracci, Andrea Pozzo, Nicolas Poussin at marami pang. Rococo art, this period saw the emergence of a style of art characterized by a focus on light, pastel colors, and ornate decoration. Rococo art was often used to communicate the luxurious lifestyle of the aristocracy. Nakita raw sa panahong ito ang paglitaw ng estilo ng sining na nailalarawan at sa pamamagitan ng pagtutok sa liwanag, pastel colors, and ornate decoration. Some definition of Rococo. Rococo often referred to as Rococo or late Baroque is a lavish European decorative style of the 18th century that was the final expression of the Baroque. Ang Rococo daw ay malimit na tinawag bilang Rococo, na ang ibig sabihin ay huling Baroque. Ibig sabihin ay bago pa naitatag o nakilala itong Rococo, ay nauna nang nakilala ang Baroque sa Europe noong ika-18th century at naging huling pagpapahayag ng kilusang Baroque. Makikita ang example ng Baroque art and Rococo art sa background natin.
New Classicism. Western cultural movement in the decorative and visual arts, literature, theater, music, and architecture that drew inspiration from the art and culture of classical antiquity. So, movement in Europe that transpired during the late 18th and early 19th centuries aimed to revive the rekindled influences of Greek and Roman into art and architecture, which lasted from the late 14th to the early 19th century, was an imprecise movement whose main beliefs were architectural to that of the Enlightenment, particularly the change of our reason. This movement was a reaction to the artworks during the Baroque period. So there is a call to veer away from such extravagance in terms of style and from of the Baroque period. Baroque emphasized dramatic, exaggerated motion and clear, easily interpreted detail due to its exuberant irregularities. Baroque art has often been defined as being Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Rahima Ibrahim. My assigned topic is all about the Romanticism and New Classicism. So when you say Romanticism, art movement used the central themes of New Classicism artworks as springboard. So during the age of revolutions, there has been a tremendous focus on patriotic and nationalistic movements. One of the major revolutions in history would be the French revolutions. Such revolutionary movements become the focal point of most romantic works. Romanticists have highlighted heroic elements into their work. French Revolution became the focal point of most romantic works. So these very principles were also the dominant principles during the Enlightenment period. As an art movement used the central themes of new classicist artworks as a springboard, they highlighted heroic into their work.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fahad A. Sema. Our topic for today is realism. Realism, style of work, focuses on the accuracy of details that depicts and somehow mirrors of reality. Heavily influenced by Hellenistic Greek culture, modern movement in arts veered away from traditional forms of art. Ang realism daw, it is a style of art. Nakaka-focus siya sa accuracy of the details. Ang realism is somehow mirrors of the reality. So, it very understandable na ang realism is from the word real or reality. Na kung saan ang ganitong style ng art or influenced by Hellenistic Greek culture. Hellenistic Greek culture ay yan yung sinasabi nilang Hellenistic or tawag nila. Ano ba ang Hellenistic Greek culture? Refers the spread of Greek culture na nagsisimula noong nasakop ni Alexander ang Greek noong ika-4 na siglo. Realism revolutionized themes and techniques in painting, expanded and widened existing notion of what can be considered as art. Artistic work began to depict real-life events, combine both art and life in artistic works. Since the modern world is suitable for subject of arts. Ang realism style of art ay nabibilang na mula sa sinaunang style ng arts mapunta sa makabagong style. In short, ito ay masyadong nabago kumpara sa dati. Kasi ngayon, marami na pong style or technique na paano po mag-painting.
Okay. Impressionism, post-impressionisms, new impressionisms. Sa impressionisms, movement start in France, led to a break from the traditions of European painting. Style of painting that emerged in the mind to 1800s. It allowed the artist to emphasize immediate impression he has of a particular event or sign. Estilo ng pagpipinta na lumitaw noong kalagitnaan ng 1800s na pangunahing nakasentro sa paligid ng mga impresyonista ng Paris at pinapayagang ito ang mga artista na bigyan din ang agarang impression sa mayroon siya sa isang partikular na kaganapan o eksena. Okay, post-impressionism. Movement emerged in France, result of both the influence and rejection of impressionism. Development of individual style that give emphasis to defining from with the use of broken colors and short brush stroke. Some famous post-impression artists include Paul Cézanne and George Seurat and Paul Gauguin and Vincent van Gogh. Ito ang ilang sikat na mga post-impressionism artists ay kinabibilangan nila. Okay. The New Impressionism response to empirical realism of Impressionisms. Painters rely on the systematic and scientific techniques that have a predetermined visual effect not only on the artwork itself but only how the audience perceive the art. Ang mga painters ay umaasa sa isang sistematiko at siyentipikong pamamaraan na may paunang natukoy na visual na nakakaapekto hindi lamang sa mismong likhang art kundi pati na rin sa kung paano nakikita ng madla ang art. Kaya inaalagaan ng mga painter o lalo pa nila ini-improve ang pag-paint nila o paggawa ng art. Hanggang dito lang.
Next is the Art Nouveau, 1890-1910. Emerged on Europe and United States, ornamental style of art that break conservative historicism, uses long and organic lines that are concretely manifested in architecture, jewelry, glass design, asymmetrical line that usually in the form of insect wings and flower stalk. So sa Art Nouveau naman, noong 1890 and 1910 naman ay ito ay gumagamit ng mahaba at organikong mga linya ng konstruktong ipinakita sa mga architecture na disenyo ng salamin. At ito rin ay symmetrical na linya na kadalasan ay nasa anyo ng mga pakpak na insekto at mga tangkay ng bulaklak. Next, the field vision, 1904. Use vibrant colors by applying strength from the paint tubes directly to the canvas. Fields have a strong and expressive reactions to how they poetry their subject. Most Fieldism work reject the conservative and traditional renderings on three-dimensional space. So, ang Fieldvision ng 1904, ito ay gumagamit ng makulay na mga kulay sa pamamagitan ng paglalapat ng direkta mula sa mga tubo ng pintura ng direkta sa canvas. At ang mga fields ay may malakas at nagpapahayag na reaksyon sa kung paano nila nilalarawan ang kanilang mga paksa. So next one is Cubism. Cubism 1904-1914, introduced by Pablo Picasso and George Braque. Cubism highlighted the two-dimensional surface of picture plane, focusing on a flat surface surfaced was rejection of the dominant techniques like the use of perspective, foreshortening, and modeling. So, ang sinasabi dito is ang Cubism 1904-1914 ay ay pinapakilala ni Pablo Picasso at George Braque na highlight na cubist ang two-dimensional na ibabaw ng isang picture plane. Ang Cubism art ay ginagamit sa diskarte tulad ng paggamit ng pananaw, foreshortening, at pagmamodel. So, last one is Futurism. Futurism, early 20th century art movement started in Italy, highlighted speed, energy, dynamism, and power of the machines. Common themes for works in this movement are restlessness and the fast pace of modern life. So Futurism, sabi dito is, Futurism is an artistic and cultural movement that originated in Italy. The early 20th century, it was founded by the poet of Filippo Tommaso Marinetti, who published his Manifesto of Futurism in 1909, in which he proclaimed the movement's rejection of the past and celebration of the future. So, Futurism embraces technology, speed, and the dynamism of the modern life, and sought to break free from the constraint of tradition and history. It celebrated the energy of the city, the power of the machine, and the excitements of the new inventions and discoveries.